Kusal, you have had a rare journey from coding gesture-based controls at Herman to leading AI-powered sales at Derwix. How has your perspective on hiring and building teams changed across these industries?
So basically, it's had have been a quite a long journey, right, over the last, I think, almost 12 years, right? Well, I'm initially, like, since you mentioned Harman, but I was an individual contributor, right? I was the
Okay.
one getting hired. So it's been a long journey from that side of the table to this side of the table, right? And when I was building that last AI powered sales enabler or unlocker, as you call it, the company, right? So few things. And since I was handling the entire business ops there, I was the CPO and one of the co-founders there. So main traits that I would look out for a freshers in case of like AI SaaS platform, the roles that a fresher would get probably start with someone like SDR, right?
Okay.
So the thing that I used to look around in a person is that some amount of like inculcating knowledge capability. For example, if I give him or her a sector say BFSI, they
Mhm.
would at least learn within the quickest possible turnaround time the details about, like, for example, if I am sending to a lending platform, they should understand what a LOS is. I do not expect them to know on day zero, right? But I want them to have that absorption capability. Second thing I would say, as I was saying, like a little bit of academic discipline, because if
And,
someone is academically disciplined.
and how you judge that academic discipline?
So for example, what about topics? Like, for example, if someone says they are an MBA, I would ask them, what is your major or minor? Then I'll
Okay.
ask a little couple of deep questions. Okay. Then I will understand like whether they really know or really do not know.
Okay.
And if someone is from a pedigreed institute, okay, then though I think I would not ask. I would like level down on the level of questions. But if someone is from non-pedigree, I would definitely probe a lot. Okay, and they're obviously I normally ask these questions very very directly. Like, what is your percentage? What is like say marketing was your major? What is your grade in
You want to
B2B?
validate before giving anybody chance, right, to get in your team.
Sorry.
I'm saying you validate first, right, before letting anybody say getting hired in your team.
So basically, the first when I was running the AI powered startup, the hiring from grounds up was being taken care of by me only.
Okay.
I was the sourcer on various platforms on like LinkedIn or my personal network. So I was in a way the TA as well for my team, as well
Good.
as the. So I had to do everything. So I had to ask these questions, even if they write it on their resume. So I always cross verify, okay, on all those things. If someone says like I am from marketing, I will definitely ask B2B questions, B2B marketing questions. If someone says like no, I have passion for digital marketing, I will ask about CAC, right? So those things. And fresher for fresh.
Writing something, you know it, right? You should have experience of working on it, and then only you write, right? That is something you validate. Okay.
Correct, agree.
Right. So, at Derwix and across your roles in Herman, right, or Coca-Cola, home lane you worked for, how do your hiring expectation differ for fresher versus experienced hires?
See, expectation wise speaking, it remains the same. Okay, of course, from the experience hires, we depending on like see all the hiring decisions boil down to at the end of the day return on invested capital for me. Okay, if some I am investing say $100 or someone, I have some expected returns on them. Okay, and from a behavior perspective, while like freshers are always a little more joyous, right? They are and especially now with the younger ones that I work with, right? They also want the workplace to be fun or work to be fun. for from the experienced ones, of course, we expect more maturity, right, in terms of and in terms of delivery also. For example, if I had tenured hires as well in while running the AI company, right? So for them the expectation are clear cut, simple. These are your deliverables. You should go set up that conversation demo, as we used to call it. You should also kind of warm it up to a level, to a certain level, when I can just need to barge in and close, because the same expectation was on me as well by the CEO, right? So we expect the experience ones to be more mature, more kind of kind of, I would say, pragmatic in their approach. And I do also let the freshers have their fun bit of in the office.
Okay. So currently you are working with Livspace, and we are living in AI world, right? So is there new parameters that you check while hiring, be it experience, be it fresher?
Got it. So in terms of AI, basically, see, AI literacy, I honestly, although I ran an AI kind of, a farm where AI was the backbone, but I'm still learning every day. I do not claim to be an expert, right? But I think, when it comes to AI literacy, I think it has become the norm. Okay. It is as simple as if you can use a whatever smartphone, Android, iOS, whatever. It's like as relevant as being able to use Uber, right?
Yeah.
For everyone, I expect basically is that see, here also I work in sales. So my through and through whatever last 4, 5, 6 years have been kind of filled with sales only. I
Sales team,
want my sorry.
dabbling sales team.
Yeah, yeah. And also being involved in sales myself, because some of the roles that I carried was high involvement sales, like real estate, interior, etc., even for B2B AI deals, right? So what I expect the folks to be, whatever used to be the mundane affairs in a salesperson's journey, say a lead qualification, to getting the context of the conversation, refining an email. While ideally I ask my team not to copy paste directly from ChatGPT or Gemini, leave your own personal touch as well. But of course, as we know it, in setting up the context of the conversation, refining your email so that it becomes more striking or eye catching for the recipient, right? I want my team to be very, very literate and prompt in those affairs, and all the mundane affair wherever it used to take our time, right? A salesperson main job is to collect checks and generate revenue. Okay.
Got
Everything else that can be automated, I want my team to automate it through AI.
got you, got you. So what one extra skill you now look for in modern sales hire, other than this AI?
I think I think somewhere as the generations have also changed, right? I think somewhere having that personal touch. I'm talking about sales on, and even it could be relevant for the other departments or the verticals as well. Because you always in an organization, you always have a customer, right? You either those are external or internal. I think of late having this personal touch. Like for example, we are having this conversation, right? We need to set up this rapport first before having this conversation. I think that is one thing that I'm extremely cautious about. Second thing that I ask them normally, I validate through my ways whether their current managers or leaders would regret letting go of them.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you talk to their managers, or how you assess them?
No, basically, see, when you work in sales, right, you get a sense of what the person is. You read through that person, right? So if someone has really done sales, right, and I'm talking about my area of expertise, not that I would I'm in a capable position to someone who is selling an aircraft, because I don't know about that. But in my relevant fields, like selling software or selling real estate, homes, or FMCG beverages or interiors, I know my bit. right? If somebody says I have done such and so, I have established such a record, there are always ways for me to find out, right? So I verified it.
Okay, so a lot of young professionals wonder how to get into the industry, right? So based on your experience, right, and current role at Livspace, what are
Mhm.
the non-tech but core skills that this young professionals should have?
Got it. I think while fortunately or unfortunately for us, AI is already or is going to take away a lot of roles which are
Okay,
kind of routine and automated, you
wonderful.
know. But I think some of the core aspects apart from sales, right, where I still see, I could be wrong here, okay, is that every enterprise or every kind of serious business spends a lot of time thinking about customer centricity. Okay. Well, after all, you're selling to a human, right?
Okay,
So, so wherever the human touch helps, where it increases the the f- the brand being the favorite among the customers, right? Wherever that customer center be, it could be in the form of answering their queries, having a great NPS or CSAT, wherever human natures, the aspects of a human's life which cannot be replaced by AI. Those are the things which are where I see tremendous opportunity. It could be in your brand's communication. While the literally you can ask a GPT platform or whatever Gemini etc. platform to take over some bit of a branding aspect as well, but they cannot take away the human aspect.
hey, hey.
Hmm.
So in short say आप relationship heavy environment में काम कर रहे हो, whether you're
Hmm.
working with living life space or
Hmm.
your past experience in real estate, FMCG, right?
Hmm.
How important you consider the storytelling, communication today are for people getting into the job market?
Oh, absolutely. That is the main thing. As I said, and I think I set up the context in my while answering the previous question only.
Correct.
But the only thing that are going to remain, like if I'm again with the disclaimer, if I'm not wrong entirely, although we are still waiting with bated eyes for AGI to come, right? But I feel the only thing that are going to remain is the human aspect of humanity. Okay, so if I would rather prefer a fresher who has great people connecting skills than academics. Well, academics also, for example, say if I can give a very direct example, a person with a 9.6 CGPA versus a person with an 8 CGPA. If the person with the 8 CGPA has great connecting skills, right? Who can kind of do a great amount of influencing, whether inside the ecosystem or to the customers, right? Those are the people I would be keen on meeting.
सो जब आपके पास कोई रिज्यूमे आता है किसी भी कैंडिडेट का, सो उस समय आपको लाइक पॉलिश्ड रिज्यूमे देखे तो अच्छा लगता है, या उस रिज्यूमे में उनका वर्क एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में डिस्कस किया हुआ है, लाइक पोर्टफोलियो that they have worked on, side hustles, the internship they have done. So what actually work out for you, like when you look at that resume, be it it should be a polished resume or it should have the work proof?
See, there are two aspects here. Currently, when I kind of scan through tons of resume while being at Livspace, right? Uh, Livspace is a very, very large organization, right? So here, the job role, the ambit of what I'm supposed to deliver is kind of limited, right? I do not kind of have influence on the entire destiny or the PNL. And it's a large team, right? It's a big company.
Correct.
So वहां पे क्या करता हूं, whatever I am supposed to do, right? I look for people as my deputy who can literally replicate me, assuming that I am successful in my role. Okay. But in the previous one, when I was looking for, so यहाँ पे क्या होता है, in big setups, I see this is my job role. This person has done it in the past, or maybe a lookalike profile like this one. Then I set up a conversation, have my dipsticks and litmus tests all around. कि कितना सच है, कितना whatever is vaporware. then accordingly I take a call, right?
Okay.
But in my previous role, where it was my destiny, right? If I don't succeed, I die. As simple as that. In that role, I am little less cognizant of it. In that role, only thing I used to look for was who has the hustle capability. The degree, vagera, nothing matters. Okay. If somebody has sold, if somebody can sell ice cream to a whatever tundra region person, I would hire them.
सो पॉलिश रिज्यूमे है नहीं है, उसने क्या सर्टिफिकेशन किया है, यू डोंट सी, यू सी उसने काम क्या किया है और वो काम क्या वैल्यू ऐड कर सकता है मेरे लिए.
A core team always gets built like that. Core team,
यस.
for example, you can never satisfy a core team member with ESOP, CTC, incentive, nothing. They should love your idea. They should love the company. And love is way more powerful than any other money on the table.
यस. यस.
Core
यस.
team is very, very important for me when I check for whether they share the passion for that. And I think youngsters should, as I said in the beginning of this conversation also, AI literacy is the norm of survival today. Okay. So whoever is geared up for this space, right, they should share passion first. और जिस चीज में पैशन होता है ना, उसको आप समय निकाल के भी सीख लेते हो, चाहे जितना भी व्यस्त क्यों ना रहे.
यस. यस.
हम्म.
जितना डिफिकल्ट हो, इस तो आपका पैशन है, आप कनेक्टेड हो फाउंडर की ऑब्जेक्टिव से, देन यू डू ऑल दैट इज रिक्वायर्ड.
Yes.
बिकॉज यू ऑल्सो सी ना कि अगर कंपनी ग्रो कर रही है, आप ग्रो कर रहे हो, फाउंडर ग्रो कर रहे हो, तो आप भी साथ साथ में ग्रो करते हो.
But that is not I think for example, कल मैं पढ़ रहा था about something. I keep on reading on Y Combinator, right? So there are, I think some 20 tenets that they had written many years back. Like ये होना चाहिए अच्छे startup में. Okay, तो वहां पे पढ़ रहा था any founder, any CEO who has started something new, आजकल तो every day I think we are seeing hundred of launches of AI companies right across the globe. Any honest founder, anyone without an iota of doubt in their heart, would always reward their founding team like anything, who stood by them in the in storm, right? तो उसको तो मतलब मैं तो, if I have to do something tomorrow and if somebody blindly put their faith in me, in my capability, then मैं तो मतलब I will go beyond anything. मैं अपना सारा मतलब जितना कैपेबिलिटी हो पूरा जोर लगा के उनको रिवॉर्ड करूंगा.
एग्री. हम सब साथ में ग्रो करें, वो ऑब्जेक्टिव होना चाहिए.
Yes, yes, yes.
Without them, that is not possible, right?
Without them also possible. If someone loves you, right, if someone kind of believes in the idea, then they will still support you until they see the reward. But it is onto you कि like उनको
Give
reward
back.
back करना.
Yeah,
हाँ.
to give back. Right.
तो give back, क्योंकि give back नहीं होगा तो फिर उनका वो जो the proverbial term we call it a मोह भंग, that will happen,
Right.
and you lose trust in the market only once.
Yes, yes. You make once, you lose once. उसके बाद मिलता नहीं है.
Correct.
Okay. So, according to you, आने वाले 1-2 साल में ट्रेंड क्या रहने वाला है? Given this AI is evolving, given the current hiring is low, any company, be it startup, be it matured company, everybody is in a wait and watch mode where they want to understand, okay, how or what AI can bring change, right, in the company. So what do you see in next year in terms of hiring?
See, to be honest with you, I also don't know, because apart from the AI kind of the revolution that it has brought about, right? There are other many macro factors at play, right? With everyone becoming increasingly more conservative. I don't know how the trade war is going, right? Those will also have impact, right? But if I have to restrain myself only on the impact of AI on the overall job market, I see as I see it all depends on AGI at some point in time, right? वो कितना successful होता है नहीं होता है. For example, GPT-5 was received with a little muted response.
Yeah.
right? From the overall enthusiast community. But फिर भी मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि all the jobs that can be automated. I was just scrolling through phone, right? Before this conversation, इंस्टाग्राम पे आया कल कुछ इंडिया पाकिस्तान का मैच है, T20 आई थिंक वन मैच इज देयर. आई सॉ सोनी लिव का एड देयर and it is quite visible. मतलब I could be again wrong. It is completely done by AI. Probably Delhi was at play. So इस तरीके का रोल पहले आप सोचिए कि मार्केटिंग एजेंसी कितने they used to charge top dollars to get into a company, right? I think all of this, like, whatever was the frill, at least some of the frill will go away. तो अगर उस पे कोई परस्यू भी कर रहा है, if someone is pursuing marketing, right? I think it is now advertising aided by AI is what they should look at. If someone is pursuing say front end coding, right? My developers could develop a website within a matter of hours. और पहले आप जब मैं चालू किया था हरमन में एज ए very poor software engineer, by the way, I was very very poor right, in terms of my performance. So उस time पे we used to have large teams for front end development. There is no need today. While the
बॉयलर स्टैब्लिश करने में ही टाइम लग जाता था. टुडे दैट इज नॉट द केस.
हाँ अभी मतलब 95% of the job is done by AI. But the truth still remains that जो 5% है, that is kind of a cleaning up work, which kind of makes you put it all together. So we will have kind of limited number of more brainy people working at that. So tech side में advertising bit में मैं देखता हूँ, and in fact some of my friends are also working on like automating a lot of things in finance, legal. टीए का तो बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है, टैलेंट एक्विजिशन इन हायरिंग. आई थिंक व्हाट एवर दे आर डूइंग, काफी चैलेंज आने वाला है मेरे हिसाब से. ओके, इफ दे डू नॉट स्टार्ट यूजिंग एआई ऑलरेडी, है ना. And HR में there are a lot of opportunities. Some things like culture or like policies will stay, but HR is going to get impacted. I think then legal to literally it can be like replicated in a day, of course. Uh,
Well,
so
that is based on rule book, right? Most of the things are based on rule book, so easy for AI to say replicate and become a good product around it, right? Legal product.
my point is like see AI अभी जैसे मान लीजिए 100 जॉब है मार्केट में, AI will definitely going to take away some of them. Whether this is 50 or 70 or 80, that time will tell. Or I
Right.
think the emergence would be like where you have a personal touch, right? As I kept on saying now. So I think all your last mile delivery or customer support, customer centricity, where like human efforts are required, right? Those will remain intact until like in the near future that I can see. But Joby, I think the what are the armchair cushionary jobs? A lot of them are going to get impacted, and the youngsters should look at how to kind of uh, save themselves from this tide.
Okay. So one advice that you want to give to youngsters, what will be that?
Matlab, I think what I would say as like one thing is obviously you would have also understood by now, whatever that you are pursuing, please like skill up. Not only AI, I think quantum computing is also on the anvil, which will change the game once again altogether. Okay, whenever it is successful, a lot of things are coming that way also. So my advice or rather request, मैं भी कौन ही होता हूँ advice देने वाला, I'm also learning every day, right? तो उनको वो tech के साथ how these new waves are going to change the realm of job that they are pursuing. जैसे आज के दिन पे when my dad used to work in a factory, there used to be 2,000 employees. But when I worked at Coca-Cola, right, I used to be a frequent visitor to the Bangalore factory, Bidadi, right? The human manpower required were very less. Most of the things were automated, right? So
Machine driven.
because sorry.
Machine driven.
हाँ, machine driven. There are a lot of robotics at play. वहाँ पे था Bidadi and the other Aranya factory and across the country also. So मेरा तो रिक्वेस्ट ये रहेगा उन लोगों को that they see this kind of, while they do not just have a siloed vision, be aware of what is happening around them, prep themselves accordingly. Also, do not bet way too high on AI, because जैसे अपना NFT AR VR came as a wave, and it has not reached its optimum, right? तो मतलब बी अवेयर ऑफ द प्रैक्टिकलिटी हो जाए, ऐसा नहीं कि हाइप के पीछे भागना है, बी
Correct,
प्रैक्टिकल,
correct.
कितना इसका इम्पैक्ट आ रहा है. एंड सेकेंड थिंग इज लाइक आई थिंक serious hiring managers would look for great academics, great discipline, because discipline is what sets a winner apart, right, from the rest of them. Having said that, अभी मैं 12 साल के एक्सपीरियंस के बाद ये ज्ञान दे रहा हूँ, never been a good academic performer myself. So these are hard
अभी अभी
earned.
ये आप सबको बता पा रहे हो कि how important it is. So
हाँ,
I think from this podcast, our listeners will understand that you have mentioned that continuous learning is very much important. Running behind the hype is not required, but at least understand what is there, right? And then accordingly skill up yourself. And there are certain basic things that any interviewer or any hiring manager will look at in a candidate, which could be academic records, which could be your, say, actual work profile, right? Your experience. So I think this podcast has at least helped them to understand what is required. And it is not that AI is going to kill every job. It is just they have to make sure that they start using AI in whatever position they work.